The Canadians. Can I do? And you can you move the text over here? You know,
oh yeah, this.
So I can look.
You can see.
So I can see the.
Maybe I can try to.
We're on.
We're on.
Just so I can follow
right now.
Is that the Twitch?
Can I make it bigger? Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Motherfucker.
We're on. What a nice start. So hi, and welcome to Heroes and Generals Devstream number 3, live from Reto-Moto Copenhagen headquarters. I'm Rito Gargamel, and this is Rito Redbjørne.
Hello.
And basically, today we're going to structure it a little bit more. We're expanding the formula a little bit and trying to evolve in a more structured direction based on your comments and feedback. So, for example, we're adding a news section, sort of, trying to make it look more like a news report. And you can find the previous 2 dev streams on YouTube, on our Heroes and Generals YouTube channel. So yeah, other than that, have a new shirt and new beer. Things are moving. Kind of still waiting for people to come in. I guess we can start talking about news.
Oh yeah,
we might want to.
Actually, I can explain a little bit about what we would like the news to be all about. A while ago, we had something we called the intelligence bulletin, which was sort of like a little roundup of what the different people in here have been doing for the last week, and we posted that onto the community. And it seems like people are really happy about that, but it just took a lot of work to actually create it from in here. So we discontinued it. But I think our idea with this news section is to sort of like revive that a little bit, to let you know just what we're working on, and have a little bit of we are working on this and this and this, and this has been started, or this has been closed down, or something. We obviously need to figure out what to actually say and what's interesting to know about for you guys. So this is also a new thing for us.
But I think you wanted to share your enthusiasm for how interesting the strategy game is becoming.
Oh yeah, we have. We've been watching the. First of all, I need to apologize for us shutting down the war before it ended. It was going really well, and we had some trouble with the servers getting really sort of overheated. So we had to shut down the war in order to clean out some of the data. I'm terribly sorry about that. That shouldn't be happening. But we started up a new war. And it seems to be going really well for the Americans this time around.
Mm-hmm. I just want to interrupt you for a second. We're also currently getting a lot of comments on the chat right now about how come I can't log in. It's actually the servers are down. We're working to fix that as soon as possible, but we had a little bug with the login server. So yeah, we know about that. Don't panic. Everything will be fine. But please, don't all report it. We're going to fix it as soon as possible.
Some might say it's a bit of bad timing.
Yeah, but yeah. So, but back to the fun stuff. We've been mailing everybody in the middle of the night to tell them how the war was going.
There's been it's been like a tie for several days between the Americans and the Germans. Seem to be fighting along. The Germans trying to make some breakout attempts for Rotterdam and being pushed back, but at the same time as the Americans are fighting on just south of the Alps. But it seems like yesterday evening.
Can you make it full screen, maybe?
We can do this. Is just a screen dump, so
yeah,
the screen.
But still,
yeah. It seems like the Americans were finally able to break down in northern Italy, and at the same time they were sort of like getting in from the back door through Greece and Yugoslavia. So it seems like they were onto something, and that sort of like followed that for a few hours, and not long after it seems that they were really closing in on Rome, having cut off both in the south and the north of the Italian peninsula, and obviously.
Yeah, Rome fell this morning.
It was taken by the Americans.
But it's one of the first times that we have this pincer encirclement.
Yeah, it's really nice to watch it, and you can see how when you cut off resources, suddenly the sort of like the surrounded
assault
forces,
teams.
Yeah, the forces start to get really exhausted.
Because that's how it works, right? If you don't have a path.
Now, actually, you will get you can resupply from the capital. So as long as you can hold the capital, you can like deploy new assault teams from there. But if they're needed elsewhere, obviously they're not getting deployed there. Some of the generals will be supporting troops in other areas of the map. So it seems like the Americans actually made quite a big push towards Rome, and they finally got it this morning. And just like a few hours later, Oslo fell as well. So right now it's like the Americans seems to be having the upper hand now. It's quite new for us to see this happening, because we've been hearing this for a long time, that the Germans were always winning, and the Americans were really sad that they thought that the game was overpowered in the.
We'll talk about that later, I think, a little bit.
I think I'll just do a little bit on that, because
on that?
it actually the old. Yeah, the Americans have been complaining that the game was overpowered towards the Germans, but we can see now we are starting to get the opposite complaints.
Yeah, people are saying, why are you helping the Americans? Well, actually, but one thing we can say right now is we're not doing anything to help the Americans. It just started to kind of the wind has turned recently, really. And but we'll get back to that. I think we want to kind of go through the news a little bit. Yeah, but yeah. So I guess what we can
definitely say that we haven't made any adjustments to the balance of the game. It just tipped suddenly by the Americans seeming to be. I don't know if they play a little bit smarter or whatever they do. I think
they're using the fact that there's multiple capitals.
Yeah,
and there's various other factors. But I think it's like if we start discussing that right now, we're gonna start on a long. We're gonna get back to that. But a question we get asked a lot. I mean, and we talked about it previously on our previous Twitch streams, and still we get the question. What are you doing about cheaters? So that's, I guess, a little bit for me to answer, because I've been wielding the ban hammer. I can report that we completed the first ban wave, and the second one is rolling in on the beach, if you want. And as we speak, really, we've identified. I don't want to get into details. A significant number of cheaters have been caught red-handed and dealt with. So we are doing something about it. It's getting easier as we go along. It's getting easier to identify, to detect basically any kind of DLL injection. And so we are building a database, and we kind of go back to it. It can be a week, it can be a month, but when we go back to our database and we scroll through it and we have our filter looking for stuff, and wait a minute, this process shouldn't be there. We can actually build a list of people to be banned, and so that means eventually the cheaters will stop laughing. It's a matter of time. You should not feel safe if you've been using any kind of third-party software in that with that intention, of course. Also in other news, we've just moved the wiki to Gamepedia. I think we can show that. Right now it's on, if you go to wiki.heroesandgenerals.
I have it, yeah.
There it is, yes. Awesome. So it looks different. It certainly is starting to look a little bit more complete already. And it's still user editable. So if you want to go in there and fill in some information that you think is missing, it is user editable. And so these are the guys. The guys are managing this. It's Curse Network, and they're basically going to help edit and host, of course, the wiki. And
I think it's just come up.
Yeah, it's
right
just
now,
started.
But next week we'll provide some more information on how you can help expand the wiki. Obviously, it's a very nice thing to have for the game to explain more complex mechanics and issues in the game. So yeah, and but right now we don't have the full detail of how the actually works with the curse guys, but
we're setting it up basically.
Yeah.
And
but you can already now it's live. If you go to heroesandgenerals.gamepedia.com, you'll get straight into the wiki.
Yes. Also, we have to. Well, I think now is as good a time as ever to announce that next week we're thinking Wednesday. I think it's not absolutely.
It's
absolutely decided that it's Wednesday morning.
I think it's
okay.
So the last thing,
so Wednesday 8 a.m. Next week we will be having some server downtime, and we're thinking about 8 hours. So whatever it is.
Yeah, we're switching.
Getting messages sometimes. Yeah, it's a little bit like being schizophrenic. So
we're switching to a new backup system for the stats servers and stuff. So we need to sort of like take the whole system down and roll in the new backup stuff. So that's quite important for the game to. So sorry again for the inconvenience of the servers being down at the time, but this is quite important.
Yeah, and we will I think post more details on our news blog as they show up. Then we have good news. We currently are giving players an XP boost. If you have assault teams, you are actually receiving a multiplier to your XP earnings. Until we set it originally to until the 7th of September at midnight. Now it's extended by a week, so basically until the 14th, and so that's at midnight's standard universal time, like galactic time standard. So it's basically so it ends at 23:59 seconds on the 13th.
We also raised the bonus from 3 times to 4 times up.
Yeah,
because we actually want to get to the point where most people can start to redeploy their assault teams and all that again, and get the game into balance. We have been fiddling a little bit with the actual XP earnings as well, and we are going to do that at least one more time, or because we're not quite there yet with the earnings. Right now, we have been looking at the company officer ranks, and we have been lowering those requirements a bit, and at the same time, we have been boosting the XP that the generals earns from the strategy game quite a lot. Because that numbers was something we need to have the stats come in from the actual game running in order to adjust these numbers. So so we need to we can't actually make the correct numbers until we have some feedback from the game. But we did a fairly dramatic increase in the earnings of the assault teams. So
so basically, if you're wondering how do I level up faster, how do I part of the answer is if you're not an officer yet, you play the action game. But once you get to a second lieutenant or lieutenant, equip whatever assault team you have and send it out. That's going to earn you experience also. So it's I think. Help me out here.
It is. That's how it works.
That's pretty much how it works.
Yeah. The assault team's actions will actually earn you experience for your soldier. So your soldier will actually rank up based on the actions of the assault team.
Also, we have to make another small apology. There's some confusion. I've been getting messages from people who purchased an academy trained rifleman officer, so an infantry officer. These guys, because they're academy trained, they have the same restrictions as any other academy trained character that comes basically pre-leveled up. or specialized, they cannot change careers, and that the warning is missing from the shop, and we're gonna fix that as soon as possible. But yeah, for now, if you get those guys and think, oh, I'm gonna get the rifleman, he's cheaper or whatever, and I want to change it to a tanker later, you can't. It's if you get a second lieutenant in the infantry, he stays in the infantry. That's kind of like the trade-off of wanting to skip ahead by just buying the progress. You're kind of stuck in that category. So basically, the only character that has a choice of career is the one that you level up from 0, and the shop doesn't say that yet. But once again, our bad. We're gonna fix that as soon as possible. And now I guess we can finally go back to the sorry about cutting you earlier.
That's fine,
we try not to stray too much from the plan, because otherwise we end up kind of yammering about about the allies being overpowered. That's some people started saying that on our Steam forums, saying how come we're helping the allies? We're not helping anything. It just happened by itself.
Yeah. If you actually see my screenshots of the war, I've joined in. I'm just watching the war on my account on live, and this time around I joined in as American, which is why it's I'm with the Americans right now. But I'm actually not playing the strategy game. I'm just watching it and see how it unfolds, which is pretty awesome, I think.
I think what we can say about the history of the game balance. First of all, I guess we have to establish that we're talking about the strategy game, right? Yeah. We're talking about for what, a year almost, like a straight year. There's been only German victories on the strategy.
Yeah, almost. The Americans had like a few close ones, but then.
But it's been as far as us kind of favoring one side, it's not. It's just.
It's not happening.
I think we can ask the question, why is it happening? We're not even entirely sure ourselves what determines.
No, not really. It seems like it does come down to coordination between more than one player, because you need to make a battle plan. We need to go for this city now. Everybody deploy this and go for these cities, and you have to make a massive push to get to a certain point. Also, the whole cutting off resources is it seems to work. We've seen this now several times that people can actually surround and encapsulate capture forces, so they cannot get resupplied. That seems to be working, and it seems to just like it's since we introduced the new rules for the campaign game, the game has just become much more complex. It takes a while for players to actually grasp the complexity and work together on building up a strategy and putting it into work. The game before was a lot more like First World War stale frontline.
Yeah, it was linear.
Yeah.
It was really linear. Yeah. That's actually, we might ask. I mean, multiple capitals, that surely helps. It makes the whole thing less linear.
A lot.
But also the fact that now you can't really just use the fact that you can make free accounts and multi-account. I mean, it's never been considered against the rules to multi-account, but it's a losing strategy now, because
I have to be honest, we had some trouble in the beginning when we first introduced the war funds. We had some trouble with it was easy to farm war funds. And we had a slight period where some players found out that they could farm war funds and just create a multiple account and start farming, and then obviously they could build up a huge army.
Because it didn't cost so much you had basically not such a maintenance cost that you had to be careful. You could just send in your assault teams.
But
send them back every time.
That's just different story now. The war is just so much more complex now.
So we're actually thinking of keeping you updated like this a little bit more every time we come back on Twitch and discuss a little bit what interesting strategies we've been seeing. So
that's the best joke ever.
It's
There's OP discussion just gonna go on forever.
My mom is OP. Oh yeah, well, we start laughing at their jokes, it's gonna just. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, and we've been getting. I mean, it's been floating around constantly, but people have been asking also recently. What about rewarding team play? And we're talking more about the action game here. How can we do that? Couldn't we like give some for example, experience points every time somebody chooses to spawn in your?
We saw some.
Your
There's been some nice
yeah.
discussions on the forum about this, and it's actually something that we would like to encourage team play and helping each other. There was one guy being sad that. Like if you have to actually work together to capture a point, and you die a lot when you capture the capture point. But it works really well if you play in a squad, and some guys go inside the house and capture, and the other guys stay outside and
kind
defend.
of block the access, right?
But the problem is that the guys outside don't really get a reward for doing the defending stuff. So we are looking into different ways to actually award people for assisting the captures, maybe extending a zone around the capture point, being like a capture assist zone or something. You just have to be inside this zone in order to be in on the capturing part of it. There's also another guy that came up with a suggestion that you could get XP from spawning through the
APC.
The APCs, stuff like that. There's been some good suggestions.
Yeah. So when you post suggestions like that, I mean, you see, this guy reads them.
Yeah, we try to read it, but it's like that's sometimes we get the huge wall of text on the forum. It's just like we have to develop the game as well and not just read the forums, but we try and read the forums as much as we can. And inside, everybody who works here reads the forum, and everybody's like, if there's something interesting, they go, hey, send a link around and say, hey, take a look at this. This is actually a pretty good suggestion from some users. So we do read it. We do not often comment on it because it can turn into a long thread if we start to go too deep into discussions on the forum. But we like to read you guys discussions about pros and cons on new ideas and stuff, and we take it into our design considerations, obviously.
But do that on the forum. Please don't send your suggestions to support. That's not the right place. But I mean, we are used to it. We get them every day. But support is not like a suggestions box. It's really for people who need help installing the game, running the game, with billing issues. But please, if you have suggestions, don't send them to support. I know that some guys, they spend a lot of time writing very, very well constructed arguments and thinking, we're going to forward that to the developers. We'd rather have you discuss it with the community, because then you can have actually some kind of forum, hence the word forum, right? It's the idea that people get counter arguments, and it's the community that discusses it. It's not one guy who says, "Oh, I have this idea. You should do it my way," because unfortunately
everybody wants their own idea. It's the cleverest thing in the planet.
Exactly.
But there might be something, and it's good to follow the discussion, because sometimes you get into the core of what they actually want, rather than you have to do it this way. Sometimes it's just like, I want this functionality in the game somewhere. Yeah. So have discussions on the forum. You will be heard eventually, and we're trying to make it fun for everybody, really. So, I have a message from Robotron who tells me that he thinks that the reason the allies are gaining ground on the map is that they've started working together as groups, and they're doing a great job as strategic units on the map, coordinating attacks and everything. But that's really the key. I mean, I think that's probably also why for the longest time there were more German clans. I guess a lot of players like the idea of being the German generals. I mean, historically, how many American generals are known for? There were so many German generals that had like those epic battles and everything, and the American generals were kind of more like, there's 2 or 3 of them that people know.
and there's Eisenhower, there's Patton, there's and that's probably why there were more, I think, people playing generals on the German side. But now I think there's because the Allies have been the underdog for so long. My theory is that some people are like, well, I want to try that. I want to face that challenge. I want to try and change the tide. And then so it's interesting to see what's going on because
it's also it's nice to see that it's actually the foundation of the game is to have a social game rather than a single player RTS style game. It requires players to actually communicate and work together in order to win. So I'm pretty pleased to see that it does happen.
So I guess we're at the point where we should be taking some of you guys your guys' questions. So right in front of me I have somebody is asking about merchandise in the future. Can I hope to get to acquire some merchandise? Like, oh man, this thing is scrolling so fast. I want. Where was it? I want posters in the background, and I'm pretty sure there's an option here for slow mode. Slow mode. Okay, and now we can go back to the question. Yes, so basically he wants to tell his fiancée about how he loves heroes and generals. What? I'm sure. I want your posters in the background.
The posters in,
so posters like he wants these posters.
Yeah,
the posters in the background. Yeah. Okay. Well,
we should auction them off in a competition or something, maybe.
And then get cooler ones.
Oh, yeah. Good price, yeah.
And winter maps. Will we have winter maps?
We have been discussing the winter maps for some time. Our biggest... what can I say? The thing that we are working on for winter maps is to have our current system being able to have different seasons on each map instead of just a particular winter map. So you would have the medium French village map in the autumn, spring, or winter setting, and that's kind of like the idea that we want to go to that in that route rather than just creating a new map with snow on it. Because then when we started making the game, it was really important for us to have asymmetrical maps and maps that could be reused from like it's not just a one-dimensional map. You can actually it creates a lot of different gameplay situations. Just the fact that you can attack from different attack lines, but also the weather settings and it should be able to give it a different experience. So that's how we want to do winter maps eventually when we get there.
The thing is the snow, right? It's the snow that's a bummer. A little bit.
It's depending on how you do it. It's not that. It's more like incorporating it into our whole system of how the graphics are structured and stuff. So you have to be able to say this house. It's the same house that's put into the map. You just have a switch that says it looks like this in the winter and it looks like this in the summer. And that system we need to implement. We haven't done any of that yet. So,
all right. Next one. Let's see what we have here. Do we have? Let me see there. There's a lot of action going on here. There's still people asking about I can't log in. Yes, that's being looked into. Any new maps? I think we're asked about new maps pretty much every week.
Yeah,
there is. We can say that there is one coming.
We are working on one that's going to be somehow incorporated into the next major update. It's not going to be a huge different. It's going to be a little bit of a different structured map from what we already have, and we are currently working building a new terrain system, or new terrain, would you say? So.
Mm-hmm. Let me see there. At BMW. Wait.
It's hard to follow the question
because some guys are and you forget the question mark at the end of your questions. So the guy with the most question mark. What?
Skype.
Oh, Skype. Yes, Skype is. I think Robotron found some questions for me. Okay. There is Kai WW who's asking. I don't know if I said it right, or Kyle.
Game attacks. Some of them are just crazy.
I would really like.
But it's really hard to pronounce.
So I would really like to know if you will change the war fund system again to make it easy for full-time generals to get a small positive strain of war funds. I guess he means a positive flow, a cash flow, I guess. So that at least you can keep on playing just general. I guess that's the question.
Yes, I would say that we are we're looking into obviously we would like to expand on the war fund model. The whole idea about this the economy of this strategic game has to be put into a sort of like a risk reward type thing where you great risk carries great rewards. So obviously it should be that good generals should be able to profit from the war by playing smart. It wasn't really possible before in the before the pre-Rommel build because of the World War One style gameplay it had. So that was just a pure numbers game. But it is something that we're tweaking towards rewarding like good generals. But it's like you also have to consider that once you reach the general ranks and you get up into that part of the game, you're sort of like now you're playing with the big boys. That it has to be, you have to be good at that part. That's the whole premise of a military game, is that you can only have few generals and a lot of soldiers. It's like pyramids form. So obviously it is gonna be harder once you get up there, and it is gonna be a more punishing game to play the strategic part, because that's simply just the nature of that's sort of like hierarchical structure.
So sorry about that. Will there be? Just got one. Will there be more types of planes? And he followed my advice and added, I think, 15 question marks.
Yes. We've been doing. Well, we take things one thing at a time. Now we have been focusing on the strategy game for a bit. We're gonna do a little bit more strategy stuff to catch up on loose ends, and now it's out there, and we need to sort of like take it a little bit further. Before that, we had a big update on tanks, for example, and obviously, yes, the planes will get their turn, more planes and more ways to play the planes and all that stuff. So yes, that obviously we will get there eventually.
I guess Robotron wants us to answer the question about will we fix the get off bike, get launched in the air bug.
Super annoying bike bug.
Yeah, the bike bug, the space jump, the whatever you want to call it.
Yes. The master tester Splixen have identified how to reproduce the bug.
He did.
Yes, he's just told me. So now it's a
help is on the way.
Yeah, it's a matter of getting so he can consistently reproduce the bug, and have the coders look at what actually causes it, because it is a really strange bug that we couldn't reproduce it in a long time. It's just like we heard from all these players that yes, it's super annoying to get shot 100 meters up in the air when you're trying to exit a bike, but it's just one of those bugs that are really, really hard to find. But we're getting close to it. It seems like we're getting close to it. Splixen, who is actually a real person, actually found it.
We lied. He's not a dog. There was another one that was actually the people are asking. Apparently, the kill messages, all the notifications you get when you hit something. Some people are having are seeing that with a certain delay. Is that something that changed recently? Is that something we can do something about?
Is it the notification that got moved
what I see here is like, for example, somebody says in the past, it's strangely formulated.
It's a discussion that's like, Heroes uses client or server-side confirmation on hits, which means that we have a slight delay on when you hit something to it actually confirmed on the server. It's a way that we choose because we think it's more what we say, realistic. It's more like it's more correct.
It's more accurate.
Yeah, but people playing with a lot of lag on their computers or on the internet, they might experience that they get some confirmation on the client side that then gets rejected on the server side.
But that's not the question. I think what they're asking is why they get the text message so late. But you answered it already as the reason why you get it depends on your ping, really, because what your action has to travel to the game server, and then the game server says yes, you shot that guy. So because the game server looks at the game state at the moment you're firing, and it is going. So let's start from the beginning. When you play, what you see sometimes is a prediction of what the game is at a given moment. Basically, you get an update from the server, and your client will render the environment and say, this guy is there, you're there. And sometimes that's why, if you're lagging, if you have packet loss, you will see the guy will just seem to skip ahead, or that's the game, your client correcting what you're seeing based on what the server is telling it. So you're living a little bit ahead of the real game on your machine. And when you shoot somebody and you see, for example, the blood splatter animation, that happens on your machine. It doesn't mean the server has confirmed it. When the server confirms it, you get the kill message, and you get the sound played on your machine. That's why the sound can be late. That's a little bit late sometimes, because the server has to tell your client this is happening. And so to answer that, the original question is basically, if you get the kill message a little bit late, is because it has to travel back from the server after you told the server, I'm shooting that guy. The server has to say, yes, you did. So this is what happens.
It's like a lot of other games. I think actually Counter-Strike does this, like with client-side confirmation, and I think also Battlefield.
But there's some games, I don't know about the new Counter-Strike, but I mean, on the old Counter-Strike, I was told that there's no bullet travel time. So if you shoot at somebody,
so it's real gun.
It's a real gun. Exactly. You're just like.
I can't remember that, but you might be right. But so it's just it's the decision on where to put the lag on the client side. It you would be able to, when you were the guy getting shot, you would suddenly just die, and you wouldn't know why you died. You can die because on another machine with like super lag, you could shoot somebody, and if that gets transmitted to the server, then it's kind of like unfair because you already stepped into cover, for example. So it's I think it's sort of like an unsolvable problem. You just have to put the penalty somewhere, and we chose to put it on the
guy with the lag.
Yeah,
basically. So now we still got a few minutes to go. I think we can keep going on with the questions. Oh, yeah. Let me see that. It's still scrolling by so fast. Okay, let's see. Can we get officer uniforms, please? Yes.
Officer uniform in the game, in the action game. Oh, that would be nice.
I don't know. He's not more specific. I don't dare scroll down to see if he's got a more specific question later.
That's actually been a decision from us from all the way from the beginning. We did not want like super high-ranking officers to be part of the battlefield. They should be sort of like part of behind the planning desks and everything. That's why we have this conversion you promote to general and all that is to not have a 5-star general running around with a machine gun. doesn't really fit the idea of the game.
I just got a message from Circinus. He's telling us if you notice that your kill messages are consistently very late, like you have a noticeable delay, you shoot the guy and it's like kill message. Do grab a video of that and send it to support. If it's like several seconds before you get your kill message, that's not supposed to happen. So we'll look at that. And so if you can grab a video, that would be awesome, so that we can investigate that. Yeah, that's a good question. Somebody, our friend Devstream is asking. I've noticed I get a hit message on armor. It says impact angle too high. There's no mention of this in the game tutorials, and to me it seems to be a hidden game mechanic. Can you tell us more about it? If you look for it in our news blog, if you search for it, I made a post when we introduced that new armor model. That's still the current one. It's like a year ago, almost. Yeah, it's a year ago. So it's an old news blog post, but it's still valid. There's diagrams that explain exactly what it means. Impact angle too high. I think we can maybe look for it. It's like news.heroes and generals. And yeah. So long story short is that armor thickness in our simulation it actually tries to imitate life by taking into consideration what angle your shell is traveling at relative to the armor of the vehicle you're shooting at. So if you're
what do you need to search
if you search for impact angle, I think you'll find it. So if your bullet is your shell is traveling at almost the more it gets close to being parallel to the hull, the more chance it has to just glance off instead of penetrating. So if you look for, I think it's one of the new armor model, that one right there. Yeah, it's exactly a year old. That's funny. So yeah, look for that blog post. Look for the new armor model, and you have this diagram that explains it all. And yeah, so it's not nothing really mysterious. It's the closer you are to hitting the tank at a straight angle, the better it is. I guess we can move on to another one. Will the game ever feature any more destruction than it already has? Does the engine support it?
Yes.
Yep.
We when we have the time, we take out some of the objects and break them apart, and it's also it's a matter of just. It's actually just basically extra work building, breaking stuff apart and putting it together again. I know that one of the artists has just been going through all the windows and making sure that they can be shot. So we don't have any more windows with.
So it will be all the windows,
armored glass, and yeah, we made some tests, and the destruction system can easily handle all the different. Parts and stuff, so it's not that heavy. That's fine. We were a bit concerned that like massive amount of physics in a game, especially in an online game, can be problematic. But this stuff is not. So that's good.
But I guess what a lot of people are asking is like in entire buildings and stuff like that. It's not the same, really.
We discussed that.
We did last time because
it's still it's a good question, but it's also something that can be very disruptive for the game. If you imagine starting up on a map and then instantly all the tanks just starting leveling all the houses and all the cover for the infantry, that wouldn't be very
because there's nothing left to cap.
Yeah,
there's nothing left to capture.
Yeah, so we will keep huge structures is not destructible for the simple reason that it in our mind it ruins the gameplay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and I forgot to say that the previous question was from Nathan 17890. Or
a lot of Nathans.
When you come out of the Nathan factory, you have this. Wait, no.
Don't go there.
But whoa, what's going on there? Lots of question marks. Is there going to be more customization? I suppose they mean.
Yes.
There was a question before about character customization. Can you customize what your face looks like, or your?
We have
and all
actually
that,
discussed that way back. Also, like because we have all seen the nice editors from other games where you can customize the face and beard and wrinkles and all sorts of stuff. But the thing is, our game is a first-person shooter, and you almost never see your own character in the game. You see him when you're dead. Sometimes you see some of them when you're in a vehicle and in third person, and the enemies actually don't really see you either. So it's more important for us to actually so you'll be able to customize the clothing, like the camouflage we already did on the uniforms. More uniforms obviously coming up, and for the weapon skins and stuff like that. And obviously next big thing will be vehicle camouflage, and so you can. I saw really working on some camouflage the other day for one of the tanks, and it just looks awesome. So
I haven't even seen it.
But we need to figure out which patterns to use, and it takes a little bit of research to actually come up with the good ones.
But
yeah,
camouflage. I'm as excited as you are. There is actually a good question here from Ghost Doggo, who's asking, can the waiting screen for an action game be made into a background feature? So it basically would like to keep on playing the strategy game while waiting for its battle to start. And originally, a long time ago, you could.
You could, yeah. It posed so many problems of us having to disable parts of the UI. Oh, this button doesn't work anymore because you already made this choice, and it's just it's really a nightmare to make that happen. So that's why we actually just blocked it on being on. Now you're on the waiting screen. We are working though on bringing the actual load screen from the action game into the client, into the Flash client.
Okay.
So and we can post a lot more info on that waiting screen. We'd like to tell the players a lot more about what battlefield are you about to play, and what are the assault teams, and all sorts of information that sort of like brings you closer to the fact that you're actually fighting in a great war, rather than just watching an image and a little tooltip. So that's some of the things we're working on. But obviously the first step is just getting it from the action game and into the I guess we call it the Flash client because it's made in Flash, but obviously right now it's a standalone client. So it's the menu system where you choose your soldiers and weapons and all this. But that as soon as we have it inside the Flash client, we can start to add all sorts of interesting things to do while you wait.
And let's see, I have another one. Yeah, of course. Wait. Well, that's not really a let me. Sorry, I'm reading your questions, and I have to kind of be picky. What is your favorite drink, gentlemen? I think it's fairly obvious. That's
Russian vodka.
You thought that was water. Well, that was from I Am the Flying Cow. Aren't we all? Another question, Black Woman 9000. Will the German cars have their physics addressed again, as they are currently very prone to spinning out? I think it's not even just the German cars. It's
the Americans do that as
it's
well.
any car. I've seen that because I tend to play US. On my granddad, I must say, my real life granddad, he was fighting in the Italian army. He was Axis. So you think I'm pro US? No, but yeah, no. So when I play US, last time I played, the Jeep was behaving in exactly the same way as the Kübelwagen. Really a little bit harder to control. I think it's something to do with.
Actually, I have a fun story about my granddad. When he was obviously being a Dane and Denmark just being instantly occupied by Germany during the war. But he was actually supposed to go to the barracks and
report.
Report in.
Yeah.
So he went when he heard on the radio, the Germans attack. He went on his bike and just biked down to the barracks to the where he had to report. And when he got there, there was like already Germans with a machine gun nest and stuff like that. They were already there, and they like to catch us. He just went. I'm just gonna go home again. Never fought in the war. That's how heroic we were in my family.
But the Germans called they called Denmark the whipped cream front.
Oh yeah.
Because
it's
basically you could get delicious desserts. Not
I
too
think
much
it
trouble.
was just a place where you put the soldiers for vacation, I guess. It's not much war here.
So, is there any chance for getting voice over IP? I think Robotron's expression for that would be it's like using the Necronomicon and like opening a gate to hell, like basically to like just sanity destroying pandemonium, because it's like voice over IP. You would have it. If you have it, it would be muted by default. I think that was the original answer to that question, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That was from but
a lot of players actually use TeamSpeak and all that stuff. Anyway, we had it implemented at some point, but
so that was a question from Bob Dobbsby. Bob Dobbsy.
Bobba Dobbsy.
Bobba Dobbsy. Yeah. And then as you said, a lot of people have TeamSpeak. That's a good question. Zobster is asking, can we get Fred's shirt pattern as camo? I was looking for a holiday shirt, and I wanted something gray or black. And like all they had were those fruity like Hawaiian shirts, and I was like, this is awesome. This is like it's Africa Corps station
Death
uniform.
Metal version.
Death
Black
metal
metal version of Africa Corps.
Yes. And let's see, we have another question. Buzzoff 92. Buzzoff 92 is asking, will we be able to toggle crouch and aim at some point?
I have to be cautious about promising anything, but I think it's actually a fairly small thing for us to do, right?
It's more a question of should we?
We should obviously do it. People are asking for it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of us doing another iteration on the whole character control stuff and put it in there at that time. So it's not that we have a policy of not having it in.
Yeah.
It's just
never occurred to
one of those things that just keep not getting on the list of stuff to do.
Yeah, it's just so let me see. Do we have any? Of course, people are asking about more factions.
I think we covered that last time.
Didn't we cover that last time?
I can say again, the high concept of the whole game is obviously many factions. If you ever played the awesome board game called Diplomacy, you know what I'm talking about.
If you played the awesome board game called Monopoly, you have a lot of time to lose. I think we got like 7 minutes left. It's time for this. And Skål. But I just got a message from Robotron that the toggle crouch and aim is on Tobias's list.
Oh,
Oxan.
so Oxan actually promised it now.
Oxan
Yeah. I think we just put it on this list with the Bipod and all that stuff as well. We actually discussed the Bipod stuff yesterday about how to actually implement it properly, because you can obviously shoot a machine gun, just to press the trigger and the damn thing shoots. But we'd like to do it in a way so when you for example you lie down with your machine gun and the bipods would automatically come out, but the pivot point for the gun should be obviously fixed on the bipods and not in the hands of the player. But still, we don't want to restrict you. You can you can easily move a machine gun while you're lying down. So it's not something that's going to lock you down completely. It's just going to be something that takes a while to get into, and obviously you'll be able to fire a lot more precisely once you have your bipods deployed.
There's
I have been firing at the modern version of the MG42, the G3, I think it's called Hector, and from a standing position, and it's definitely doable. Not super precise, but it's doable.
I think there was one when we went to the Arsenal Museum here.
Yeah.
At the section about modern day warfare. There was what is it called? Like it's derived from the MG42, and it was just huge.
No, but actually, you hold the bipod, and actually it has the strap as well, so you can have that really tight. So you can actually hold it really tight. And the thing is,
but the weight of it is insane. I mean,
it's not.
But it's. I mean, you wouldn't run around all day with it. But I mean,
it's definitely something that you don't need to do sort of stuff to make it fun. And also, it has because it has this the what do you call it, the recoil dampening of it, makes it. It's just, sorry to say, but it's just an awesome machine gun. It fires really well, and the recoil is actually pretty low for a gun that of this dangerousness.
We have a very long one here. I'm not even sure I can read it properly. Let me see. No, not full screen. Never full screen. Okay, now this one is. Okay, is there? That's from Scapegoat123. Is there any rationale behind why an infantry assault team requires 2 command points instead of 1? Because it says motorized guard are in the same tier as an infantry AT and only cost 1 command point. Actually, that's not even. Is it? Yes, it is true. It is. Motorized infantry. You know, it's like in the new tree. You start with guard, then you can choose motorized guard, or you can choose infantry without wheels. And
that's basically just to have somewhat of a choice.
Yeah.
We are looking into expanding this system into more like basically a point-based system where when you level up, you get more points to customize your ATs instead of having this locked up strict system. But we'll get to that at some point.
But I guess what he means is what he says is motorized infantry and mechanized infantry also cost 2 command points. But the command point cost is a matter of size. It's a matter of how many spawns you have in there and how many vehicles you have in there. Yeah. So I think the question with infantry versus motorized guard is that motorized guard it has less spawns. It has vehicles, but it has less spawns, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's still because a guard garrison is like half.
It also moves very fast on the campaign map.
But it doesn't cost as much. That's the thing.
It doesn't cost as much to reinforce it. No, because it has less resources attached to it.
It has less resources. It's purely a matter of resources. Yeah. And I was confused at first. It was a long question. So. Will you add? No, we keep getting the question about which factions will be adding.
I was actually thinking about China and Japan.
Yeah, you sent a mail about that.
Yeah.
But
hey, you didn't think about that,
hey? Let me see there. Wow, it's really. Will we be? I think we wanted to mention something about war bonds. More details later, right?
Yeah, more details.
But there's somebody asking here. Where is it? If it would stop scrolling. It's too late. I mean, it's gone. It's gone. It's just gone.
We will roll up some more with the next build. I just need to make sure that I don't destroy anything by doing it. But yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay. I think he was teasing. Crop5 is asking, a few days ago there was a Reto representative in the Allies chat, and I told him there needs to be a written test for people to fight in campaign missions. He said, I can't say more, but something is coming. Not a written test, but... Was he teasing? I think it was a written. That would be funny. It's like you have to do an exam to
yeah, that'd be awesome.
You have to study to play a video game. but I mean, I guess tutorials. Will we have tutorials? We will have eventually.
But actually, it's a free to play game, and it's an ever evolving game. So I'm not a big fan of tutorials because they will get really quickly outdated. So they just post a lot of maintenance on us. I'd rather refine the gameplay so it's more easily understandable, layering the design so it unlocks features one by one instead of having to explain everything to players. I think the tutorial is more for, sorry to say, it's a box game feature more than this kind of game.
Yeah. So well, let me see. It's There's a guy asking if I'm on acid right now. No, it's just if you were looking at the chat window that I'm looking at, it's like being on acid. Seriously, it's going by so fast, and a lot of it is very, very hard to read.
It would be awesome if you could actually have the computer speak it out instead of the
with the what's his name, Hawkins voice.
That would be awesome.
Will you be adjusting balance?
When are we getting more factions?
Oh, and then Splixon.
We want more maps.
Splixon added an IQ test on the logging screen might help things.
Then Splixon wouldn't be able to log into the game. So that wouldn't be too smart.
No, because he just can't answer a question with a straight answer. So. Okay. Level cap from level 10 for campaign missions. That's actually Are we doing something about having different skill levels so that we can sort of keep the really good players separate from the new?
Yes, we are actually, but it's kind of like it's a difficult thing to do properly, and you actually need a lot of players in order to do this properly, because you need to base it again on metrics. But we are working on a system that will sort of like look at how good are you at playing the game, and it'll try to match you into matches with similar skilled players. The thing is about I think the trouble with determining skill in our game is that obviously the first thing we want to solve is like people getting in and just getting killed all the time by players that have a high kill death ratio. But it also have to take into account that the good players in the game they die a lot. They
take chances.
Yeah, they take chances. They go to the capture points and they actually they waste a lot of lives. But that's how the good players actually play. Obviously, there's somebody who just camps in the woods and racks up a lot of kills. So we have to somehow take the whole capturing part into consideration as well. So I think the first thing we're doing is we're starting to record the points that people score in the game, the actual XP, because you get a lot of XP from capturing, and we're trying to run some tests, not in the game, but just looking at the numbers and see if we can start to filter it out, having the players who score a lot in the game matched up against other players who score a lot. If that doesn't work, we need to obviously look at other parameters to use in the matchmaking. But we are looking into this matchmaking, making it more fair. I think the biggest problem is just new players coming into the game getting completely wasted by noob hunters that are obviously in every game. We have a very, very simple solution for that we implemented a while ago, and we call it the tier 1 and 2, but it basically that's just a simple kindergarten where you get into the sandbox, with new players, and it only counts for your rank. And as soon as you ranked up to a certain level, you are thrown into the lines.
And it goes by really fast.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the problem.
does.
It goes by so fast. You're rank 3, and then you're on your own.
It's not really a skill system. It's just like a little step towards the real. We are working on something more elaborate, but it's not an easy problem to just solve. We're also working on putting in because we know that the actual campaign missions they can be very unbalanced, and that's the whole purpose of the game is on the campaign side, that we will create some missions that are unevenly balanced, and that just requires more from skilled players to actually win one of those battles. But some of them are just insane. But we are trying to implement a system where where the players can just score the after a match. They'll say, how good was this, good or bad, and then we'll just look at the numbers and see if we come up with, for example, some combinations that everybody just thinks is shit. Then obviously we know, okay, this stuff, missions like this, go straight to the auto resolver, and so we can start to filter out the mission combinations that are just not fun to play, and just leave it to the auto resolver to do it. Our so-called training missions, those are balanced. They're just set up to be like equal versus equal.
So I guess we're getting close to the end now. We can take one more, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not really a new question, but Inflectrum is asking, will there be a big map for capitals to make them feel more like capital cities?
Yes. We will get there at some point, constructing city maps. We still have some design issues to solve on that, because it will remove, for example, planes from the game, and probably also the tanks, because they're just not very useful in the city. So it will be mainly infantry playing those maps. So that they will be very different maps, more like Call of Duty style maps, I guess. We have some of them running, but there's no textures or anything on them. So we have some of it. I even think that William made a clone of one of the good old what's it called, Day of Defeat maps, which are really nice. So, but that's only for internal gameplay, not for public.
I think while we covered that, we've taken another one. World of Jason is asking.
World of Jason.
It's not just Jason; it's the whole world of Jason.
Wow.
Why can't we? Why can't you just? Why can't you adjust? Sorry, the appearance of your vehicles more. Different camouflage colors or stickers to paste on your car or airplane to make it look more personal and cooler. You kind of mentioned that some camouflage is coming.
Some camouflage is coming, and we are. Oh, I am starting to dig up the old Insignia editor again and have a look at that. We made a suggestion a long time ago for being able to create insignias for your assault teams. But I think right now it seems like it's more appropriate to actually use it for your vehicles, so you can construct your own insignias and have them displayed on the vehicle.
Yeah, I guess speaking of constructing your own stuff, you had some fan screenshots.
Oh yeah,
that we wanted to show.
Found some of the good screenshots.
So I don't know if you're. Are we seeing them now? Yeah. So this one is, what is it called again? I think it was called a chauffeur at work.
Which is so from Germany, who's taking this extreme chauffeuring screenshots with like a completely filled car.
How many have we got?
I think there are 8 in the car, so 7 passengers.
It looks like 8, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And the other one we had was, I think...
switch to that. See, here we go. Yeah,
that is called...
That's excellent.
Blocking the stairs.
Check out how they just... They're very German in this one. They
lined up, all very lined up properly. But if you do that, I just have to throw 1 grenade, and then I get 4 kills.
Yeah, but if you stick your head out on the stairs, you're gonna get wasted.
It's a video game, I can take. I will gamble my life for experience.
Yeah, that's cool. Yes, it's
But,
awesome. Just keep doing that. It's we really enjoy watching the screenshots and all the funny stuff you guys send in, and also the movies that you're creating. We're not going to show it right now, but the who's it that?
Just one of the players that
Saving Private Reto trailer. That
somebody's working on a movie. I guess we can always, we've already shared the link, I think, somewhere on the news blog.
I think it's shared on the Facebook page.
On the Facebook page, yeah. If you look on the Facebook page, somebody's got a trailer for Saving Private Reto. So
that's pretty funny.
It's quite funny.
Yeah.
This being said, I think we're going to head out to our friends at Full Control.
Oh yeah,
we've been invited for more beer.
We're gonna end the show, and then we're just gonna go and drink a lot of beer.
Exactly. It's Friday.
It's Friday, and these
in
guys.
Copenhagen.
Another developer here in Copenhagen called Full Control. If you switch the screen, we can show you their website. There you go. They have an office just around the corner, and we're gonna go there and drink beer.
So yeah, that's their latest game is Space Hulk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, and Jagged Alliance, they actually revive that stuff as well. So it's pretty cool stuff they do. Go check out the website. Fullcontrol.dk. It's in Denmark.
Yeah.
Nice
So,
guys.
I guess with this we will say have a nice weekend.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Hopefully. If the servers are running, we'll just talk and then...
The servers will be running.
Yeah, but hey, Germany, you need to kick those US asses. Come on, you can do it.